So Saviynt as a product is highly configurable. Uh, if you have not used SailPoint, SailPoint is also a configurable tool, but then it requires its own bean shell coding, which is very much like Java, which is in basically you have to write code in the product itself and save it. But in Saviynt, it's little it goes one step ahead, and it in the design itself, it is actually providing a lot of possible configurations that you can actually configure and get your requirements fulfilled. So I will tell you like how I provide Saviynt training to I mean till now the way I have been doing it. So uh, I'm trying to share my screen here. Let me see how I can do that. Okay, it's not allowing. Just give me a second. I'm trying to share my screen. Okay, are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I hello. Sorry,
Yes.
I got some echo. Sorry. So so this I have lab sessions planned for covering the entire Saviynt features. So initially, I will go through the architecture of Saviynt and Saviynt features, and basically, I have uh, a presentation that I would give for the first session, where I will describe the database schema model of Saviynt, the UI interface of Saviynt on all the different features within the product. And then from next session onwards, we'll go into the lab exercises where I will be covering all these topics. So the topics are here that you will see on your screen. So this is something that I've prepared, and I normally follow this. And this will be two-part lab. So where I will be covering the authoritative source, user import, connected target system, like for example Active Directory import. You will get Active Directory instance as a lab session. So you will get a VM with Saviynt installed and a VM with Active Directory, and you will actually set up connectors within Saviynt uh, for a connected application, and then also we'll get to know how we will deal with disconnected application setup. Then roles, how we manage roles, entitlements. Uh, there is something called SAB roles within Saviynt. How do we manage orphan accounts? Approval workflows. How do we set up approval workflows? Um, Dynamic attributes, request forms, complex workflows. How do we set up user update rules, technical rules? We'll go through standard joiner lever mover processes, which will be common to a lot of different requirement sets. I have seen that while going through this, lot of participants actually get solution to their ongoing project issues because these cover a lot of standard use cases also. Then we'll be seeing rule triggering. So Saviynt is very much driven by rules, various kind of rules. So we'll learn rules all through the lab exercises. Then we'll see AD group management. Um, then there is something called job rule matrices. We'll see what it is, but it is something like Netflix-like recommendation engine within Saviynt, which basically at the time of basically if someone is trying to request in during request process itself, in the form itself, it shows suggestions. So those suggestions are based on job role matrices. So which proves to be a very useful feature in general for customers. Then you have JRM based request, which is basically job role matrix based request, which uses the recommendation engine. Then we'll go through the role mining, how we do role mining in Saviynt. It's a little different, and I feel it's quite useful and practical. Role mining normally it is a challenge in other products, from what I've seen. Then we'll go through the SOD segregation of duties. We'll go through it in basic as well as advanced. We'll go through segregation of duty in detail. You see, I've dedicated a lot of time to SOD. Then we'll go through certifications. We'll go to all kind of certifications like user manager certification, entitlement owner certification, role owner certification, and also there are some other kind of certification that I will cover feature wise. In SOD, if you see, we'll see what is a rule set, business functions, what is a mitigation control, SOD violation, what are SOD violations, and how do you set up a SOD violation workflow. Uh, we'll see what is preventive SOD, risk-based SOD, and then also a way to bulk import rule sets in the system, because normally these are very the data is quite huge. So report. Then we'll come to analytics. Saviynt has quite good feature-rich module in terms of analytics, where it's just not reports, but it is actionable report where you can have a lot of um, a lot of dynamic actionable buttons available within the report, which the users or the admins can make use of, and it basically Saviynt itself can manage things based on report. For example, if you are showing um, all the open request for your department, all the open approval request for your department in a report, then in the report itself you can have options to actually say that it's already closed or it's already open, not needed in the report, and then you can submit it. So those kind of features are there within analytics. You can schedule reports and with the frequency that you need. Then you have something called dashboards. So dashboard are something that basically used across the product or across different modules. Just a second. It looks like something this. It comes out of the box. So based on the queries that you define, you can have actually dashboards defined which help you in seeing the data visually. It's especially important for the uh, business team, management team. So practically anything is any kind of query that you can write it's possible to convert it into a dashboard, and you can show it over here. Also, there are some out of box dashboard and reports that are there that you can use. So yeah, I mean, on a very high level, this is the agenda that I normally cover. If you want to know anything specific or you have any specific question.
If you want to know how the market trend is, and no, so recently we are seeing a lot of identity management products are in the market, like a SailPoint, Okta, OIM, Tivolis, right? So apart from all this, how Saviynt is competing to them, and what is the market opportunities for this in future?
Okay, okay, got it. So I'm working in a service company for which specializes in IAM, and practically any product you name, my company is using. Uh, First of all, you need to understand which domain you belong to. For example, within IAM, you can belong to IGA, or you can belong to AM, you can belong to PIM, PAM. So what are these practices? IGA is basically identity governance and administration. So which for which you can have tools like SailPoint, Oracle, Saviynt. The other one is AM, which is access management. Access management will have your Okta, your Ping, ForgeRock. All these products will come for access management subdomain. Then you will have PIM PAM kind of products, which are like CyberArk, Beyond Trust, Hitachi, uh, Repoman, Thycotic. These products are privilege access management. So what you are, I think you mentioned Oracle. So is it OIM or OAM?
OIM, identity
O
management.
identity management. So in the you are in the IGA part of it. So you not sure if you have worked in access management or not. If you have, then good. You can move to Okta. But if you have always worked in OIM, then it will be a shift for you in terms of domain also. I mean, in terms of subdomain, I would say. Uh, so you have to understand that you may not have concepts of SSO or the access management itself, which is different. Okta normally is not used for IGA. I mean, they are like separate products. So we use for separate. They have their own usage. If you want identity governance and identity administration, then you will need a Saviynt. Saviynt will not do access management for you, so you will need a separate product for that. So that's why when you take a decision now, you have to take decision based on that. Talking of IGA specifically, I have seen in last few years, I have seen lot of OIM related projects moving towards SailPoint or Saviynt. That is my experience. Maybe you have seen something similar or not, but I have seen a lot of big companies or even smaller companies are moving towards SailPoint or Saviynt. Now, in last 1.5 year, I have seen that even SailPoint projects are now moving towards Saviynt. I mean, this is my personal experience. Please don't quote this on me. But I have seen this trend going on that projects are moving towards Saviynt. I mean, for me, I am working on all kind of products, OIM, SailPoint, Saviynt. So it will not help me to actually take any sites. So I mean, it's same to me. But this is a trend that I have seen. Okay, towards Saviynt. I mean, I can provide SailPoint training also if needed. It's not a problem. But to be very frank with you, and because you asked this question, that is the trend I am seeing, and I can understand why they are doing it. From Saviynt perspective, it is a product which is very easy and intuitive to understand. It has a lot of out-of-box features which are very directly applicable to company use cases. You don't need to do a lot of customization to use this product. And then they are constantly innovating. The Saviynt team. If you see their pipeline for next couple of years, you will see that a lot of very useful features, lot of useful modules are coming up, and they're trying to actually give you a holistic product, which not just provide IGA but other aspects of IAM also. So yeah, I have talked to customer success managers of all these products, be it Saviynt, be it SailPoint or other some other IGA products. I keep talking to these CSMs and what are their plans and how they are putting their products in the market. So I think relatively, comparatively, even price wise, because price is a big deciding factor for companies. So if there are two products and both are giving similar, both are sufficient for the requirement, but one is much cheaper, then they will go with that. So that's where Savient wins again. So that's one reason why companies are moving towards it. So it's a combination of all the factors. So it's good. you will see. I mean, in US Canada, I can already see Saviynt being accepted and being companies getting migrated to the Saviynt. In South Asia, or in this region, I still I mean, people are still getting to know about it, and they are in process of doing it. But in US Canada, I can see it's already it's a very good market over there for Saviynt. So overall, on a very high level, this is my experience. You guys obviously can do your research and you can take a decision on how you want to go about. And if you have any question, let me know. I will try my best to answer.
Okay. What are the basic things to we have to start this? Basically, I mean, for example, if we consider Oracle Identity Manager, so we need to have at least some basic knowledge about Java and some other aspects, right? Database knowledge for developers,
Right.
right? So similarly, yeah, what are the basic prerequisites we need to have for this?
So you are all developers, is it?
Yes, but which comes like mixed. We are not into complete pure development, and we are not completely into administration point. Uh, our role, comes to like L3 kind of things where we need to support the end user, and where it requires we can write some basic schedulers. At least we are able to write some basic at least clients.
Okay, so I'll tell you one thing. In Saviynt, you don't get to write lot of Java code because product level itself, they don't expose the product on coding level. So it's not like you can deploy your war files and build the application. It's not like that. It is mainly through configurations. It is mainly through in in the product itself. You can configure things based on queries. Yeah, you can write queries. So uh, prerequisite wise, not Java, but query will be very important. Understanding how to write queries um, will help you a lot in doing development within Saviynt.
So queries nothing but Java database queries.
Yes, database queries.
Is this not a cloud product, cloud-based product?
So it is both. It has both on-prem and cloud versions. So I have seen that in my company, most of the clients are taking cloud version of it. On-prem, I believe just one or two are in on-prem. So yeah, that is the more popular one. So when you are using the application, I use both on-prem and cloud. When you are using the application, there is no difference between on-prem and cloud. It's the same. UI interface is the same. I was saying that the on domain level, right? Obviously, domain level, you can say that SailPoint, OIM, and Saviynt are similar. But when you go deeper in the product and you use it, you actually use all the products. You will see a difference. Uh, Unfortunately, you have just used one product. So I mean, I will try to draw comparison between OIM, SailPoint, and Saviynt. So OIM will require you to have for every connector that or for every target system. Maybe you will need to either use the out-of-box connector or you write your own adapter, right? For every new functionality, you have to write your own Java code and then deploy it as a connector. I mean, normally that's what you do unless you have some framework, very well designed framework, custom built within the company. Unless you have that product level, you have to write your own adapters. You have to write your own code to deploy any new feature. So that is with Oracle OIM. With SailPoint, it's the same thing, but then you don't need to deploy it, because what it does is it exposes a programming language called Bean Shell, which is like Java only. That Bean Shell language is something that you can write within the product. So you, in the product, you have most of the places you can, it's like, for example, you want to write a rule, then you can do a create rule and then write your own code within the product. It opens up an editor, but it's not a very user friendly editor, and you have to write code. You have to actually write Java code to deploy any new feature. On product level, they are not giving you out of box functionalities. They are giving you a robust engine, maybe, which you can customize. So that is the reason normally OIM teams or SailPoint teams are very big in nature. They have a lot of people in it, because there's a lot of work that needs to be done to use it. But when it comes to Saviynt, I have seen a difference that lot of IGA use cases are pre-designed in the system. It seems like they have done a lot of research in terms of all possible use cases in the IGA domain. And then they have come up with features which are customizable just by maybe clicking on a checkbox, or writing your SQL queries, filter queries, or there are a lot of configurations that can be done. So that's why Saviynt, it is very easy. If you understand the basic flow of the product, it becomes very intuitive to understand it, and to deploy new features. So what becomes important then is your understanding of the domain itself. You have to be very strong in the domain, and you don't need to worry much about the technicalities a lot, but you can actually use the product to get the user requirements deployed very quickly. So I can see that the same project which would take maybe a year in OIM can take much lesser time in Saviynt for us to deploy and roll it out. So that is one reason why companies are moving towards this product. I know big companies that are moving towards, and recently, like, we have a boom where lot of our employees, we have to train them in Saviynt, so that we have enough resources, because currently the market doesn't have Saviynt resource. So but there's a huge demand. So that is one reason that we are doing it. Having said that, you can definitely do your own research. I can definitely share my experience, but then I would strongly suggest you to do your own research, talk to people who are in this field. Maybe you will not get many Saviynt people, because it's something that is still coming up in India market. But if you have friends in US or Canada, you can talk to them, see what they're saying. So you do. I think they have this plan in their roadmap for future, but I don't think right now they have.
So currently dealing with only identity management.
You are teaching in on-premise. So is there any problem in job perspective or interview perspective?
So when you are actually doing the exercises, lab exercise, and you're learning the product, there is no difference. It's exactly same. It's the actual installation process which is different.
Okay,
But
like
we will not be
integrating.
doing installation.
Okay, like we're integrating with. I mean, for database, we are integrating with. I mean, cloud instance, right? So in this perspective, integration perspective, so no problem.
It's all the same. It's just that when you are installing a cloud, right, you have to have there is something called Saviynt Connect agent which sits on the on-prem, and it talks to Saviynt Cloud and then on-prem applications, target systems, and relays the data from cloud to target system and vice versa. So That is the only difference. But that is more of an infrastructure setup, a one-time setup in the beginning, and that is done by Saviynt itself. After that, you will not see any difference when you are actually working on a project.
Okay.
Any other question, guys?
Just I want to know what is the current market trend. I know you explained about how the projects are migrating from some other products to Saviynt, but specific to Saviynt market nothing but not like clients or clients, right? So for us at least, for the job seekers, right? How the market trend is, what are the opportunities we have in India especially?
So, as I said, I think I already answered this question. But in India, if you say in India, whatever IAM projects are going on, mostly they are from outside. They are outsourced to India. Say, if you are going to TCS, Wipro, I personally am taking corporate training of these guys. I'm taking multiple batches of these companies because they don't have 7 people. So then they have a lot of projects that are coming up. So I think it's good. It's quite good. As a product, it's quite good. It's quite booming in US and Canada, and we are getting a lot of jobs in India.
And one more question. So once we start the training, right? So what are the target applications you are considering for to teach provisioning and reconciliation topics?
So as far as connected systems are concerned, you will have Active Directory as target system. Apart from that, we will have many other applications, but obviously we will not have that actual target system for them. But they will be more on a disconnected.